And I'm basically just, this is like about Kendrick Lamar and, you know, things that are being compared to his performance and what people are saying about it. So if you here to get like my review on the all of Grammys, you might want to click out now, because I'm not going to be talking about anything else but Kendrick Lamar and other things that pertain to his performance. His award was the first awards out of the whole show, and so he got, was it best hip hop album or rap album, and I love how he said it was a award, for him, Ice Cube, because Ice Cube and his son was in the background, because they are the ones who presented the award, and how it was for Compton, and Nas, Illmatic. That's my dude. I love me some Nas. He is like my favorite rapper, like of all time. Like all time. I love Nas. And I think I don't know if people got that, why he said that or not, but I'm pretty sure the majority of y'all knew why he mentioned, you know, Ice Cube and them and Nas, because Nas, and I had 6 times, but he has never won a Grammy, ever. Like ever. And he's like one of like the top hip hop artists. So he's never won a Grammy. So for Kendrick, that was like him paying homage to Nas, saying, I got us. Like they didn't recognize you, but I got us. I got you. So this is I'm paying homage, and also this is not about me. This is not about me. This is about representing for hip hop, the artistry behind it, and his people of Compton, and just African Americans, everywhere. Anyway, so I enjoyed him basically saying that Grammy was not just for him. Like basically it says not about me. Like it's more than that. I saw a lot of people who were, of course, non-black, stating on IG and Twitter, giving their little backlash and their, disregard and like a dismissive opinion about his performance, saying it was racist. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's videos about Kendrick and things that go with his performance. So anyway, and this is not me saying, oh my God, why don't people understand us? They don't care. Why don't they care? We want them to care. It ain't, we don't care. But I'm just addressing it because people have to understand that what Kendrick is doing, it's part of music. It's part of his career. It's part of who he is. He has the voice to speak for those children, the people of Compton, for people of color. He has that voice. And music is about artistry. It's about self-expression. It's about putting how you feel and think into a song, and that's why I like Kendrick, because he's like one of my favorite artists. I can't say that I've brought like any other rappers' albums except for Kendrick, Cole, Wale, Kendrick, and Cole. Those the male rappers, anyways. As far as rap goes, that's who people like that, I've brought their albums. But other than that, I haven't really brought any other rappers' albums, because I just know that, because I normally just like listen to the sample or something like that, and I'm just like, probably not worth my $13.99 or my $9.99. Probably not worth it. And like, this is why I like him. He's one of the few people that I like in the music industry, because he's not afraid to have that discussion. He's not afraid to take up that responsibility of saying, oh, okay, like, I come from this, and people, they get me, they understand me, we have stuff in common, so I'm not afraid to go on stage in a predominantly like rock, pop, more, you know, international audience, not necessarily people of color represented in this area, in this award show. So he's not afraid to do that. And that's why people like him, not as a person only, but as an artist, because he's he speaks for us, and it's just so motivating and inspiring. But now everybody wants to be black. Now everybody wants to claim their African roots. And where was this before, when, you know, everybody was bashing Africa and saying that they don't, you know, they was ashamed of being black and stuff like that. I'm like, where is this coming from? Am I not living in the world that everybody else is living in? Because when I grew up, yes, you know, through elementary up to high school, myself and other people of color had that complex about hair texture and you sound white, you don't sound black enough. The complexes were there because we got the Martin Luther King little bitty tiny little section at school, and then you got to hear about just a little teensy little pin drop of slavery, and then you get to watch the Roots movie. Yay! And that was our history lesson. So of course because of course the complexes were there, of course the ignorance was there, because I can't really speak for everybody else, but I'm just saying for myself, the consciousness wasn't there. It didn't click until I started getting older in history and stuff like that. It wasn't until then I started to, you know, appreciate, you know, our culture of people, and not have the mindset of, you know, I don't know. It took some time for it to, hello, like, wake up, like, wake up. You need to know who you are. You need to know where you come from. And, you know, it's still a learning process. You got a section of people who are saying, okay, Beyonce did that Formation. I don't really care for that song, but yes to her little sisters in the back with their froze and their fist up and stuff like that. That's cool. And then you have people that say, oh, I don't, like, now everybody want to be black. It took Beyonce for everybody to want to wear afros and be proud of their features, their black features and who they are. It took for her to bring out a song. Why can't we just, because I understand with Beyonce's performance in her video Formation, and I understand like there's underlining, like there's things that you can pull from that and turn it into a pro-con. Like I understand that, but it's just like, why do we have to bash one another for finally getting it? Like, why can't we just be like, okay, Formation video, her performance at the Super Bowl, Kendrick at the Grammys with, you know, breaking the chains of, you know, black men, black people, you know, being chained down, hold down, like, you can't hold us back, we still got a voice. I understand people like not fully getting it, or like, you doing too much, like now you want to be black. Okay, but what y'all need to understand, and then people were saying Erykah Badu and everybody else, they was wearing blonde wigs, but y'all accepted her. Why is Beyonce any different? Erykah Badu, and Jill Scott, and Lauryn Hill, just to name a few, back around when I was growing up, their music, their videos, they had the afros. They had the you know, their hair tied up. They had pride, and still do, in the culture and stuff like that. But back then, you know, for me, I was looking at it like, ooh, I love their music. Like, I'm a fan of this. I love this. Not quite understand, you know, and the consciousness that should come with, you know, being proud with all of yourself. I guess this generation, their education is coming from what they're seeing in the media. So that's why I'm saying, why can't we just, so what if young people who may not be my age but are like under me, so what if they're seeing Formation, or they seeing Kendrick on stage representing their culture in their way and how they want to through their art and craft. So what if they're just now getting it and saying, okay, I look up to them and I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Like, it took me a long time and I may not have educated myself or tried to educate myself, but I'm looking up to them and that's good enough for me. So now I can start transitioning into understanding my culture of people and accepting my features or whatever like that. Like, why can't we just allow those people, that youth, to recognize and understand and still try to make progress towards acknowledging it? So what if it's taking social media and people like Beyonce and Kendrick for them to get that? At least they're getting it. Like, can we just focus on that? It doesn't, I don't understand why it has to be like bashing, because we already getting that from people who are, some people who are non-black. They're, not of color and maybe racist or whatever the case may be. Or black people and stuff who don't understand, what Beyonce's talking about in Formation, why Kendrick did what he did on the stage. Like, there's people like that of all races who may not understand them. And I'm not talking about people who are saying that they're Beyonce and Kendrick are racist. I'm not talking about them. We don't care. Like, nobody's trying to bow down or make them try to understand. I'm talking about people who are literally like clueless, like they don't get it. They don't understand. They're like, why is she, on top of a police car? Why is she at the Super Bowl marching with black women with afros behind her and she wearing a blonde wig? Why is Kendrick Lamar on the stage with other black men behind him in a jail like scene, and then coming out with like a tribal dancers doing like a tribal African dance? Like, people like that who really, they don't get it. The performance was that powerful where you can't just stick to one little thing to talk about, because there's so much that you can take from his performance.